Ehome versus Vici Gaming. Game.
All right.
Game 2, I'll help you out there. Ehome having to pull this one back. Vici Gaming on the verge of making it into the top 4 yet again at the International. The draft is live.
So are we going to see a Winter Ribbon this time? Because I feel like Vici Gaming, they can't really afford to ban it because Bounty Hunter is still available. So same goes for the, never mind, for the VH, but the Gyro is still there.
Yeah, it was banned in the first phase of that game, so they might...
But they were first pick, so that's why they could also first pick the Gyro. So it's a bit riskier this time around. They have to choose between both heroes. On the other hand, if they do let the Winter Wyvern and Ehome first picks it, they can go for the Dogs here. So there's this Winter Wyvern Darkseer.
If you get
mind game we've seen.
There is, but you can also get Gyrocopter Darkseer, which is also super strong if they rate Winter Wyvern that high. So there's a little mind game now from FY and what he wants to do here.
I think at the moment Ehome rates Wyvern the highest. Like maybe Lina would be their second priority, but I can see Wyvern, Lina, and Bounty Hunter. These are the 3 heroes that they
more than Darkseer.
Yeah.
That's what they have been doing as well, just picking it as soon as possible, any chance given. So Darkseer actually gets banned out.
Interesting. Gyro again?
They're targeting our TK, aren't they? Like, they realized last game, managed to shut him down, will not keep trying to hold him back because then Ehome doesn't really come online.
Yeah, it really felt like ROTK not being able to have the impact he usually has on the game made them... They felt just weaker overall because of that.
Yeah, and we mentioned about this before. With ROTK leading a team, you need to give him a good start. If he doesn't get a good start, he's not going to be... Like, the presence of him in the game is significant.
A good start to him isn't really like... He doesn't need to be like 5-0 and super farm.
No,
he just needs a decent start so he has what he needs to take the fights correctly. That's basically it.
Queen. Winter Wyvern.
Wow. So the Winter Wyvern got through for the first time against these two, and it got picked. No surprise.
Queen of Pain as well. Good combination. I don't know. Winter Wyvern is just super strong against Gyrocopter as well.
What about Undying for Ehome?
It could be a hero that... I think it's a hero that fits them in the sense that they like to be very aggressive. They like to team fight a lot. It's a great team fight hero. Great hero to just take objectives. I don't know, do they even pick DK Ehome? I'm thinking of a lineup around DK Gyro, but I'm not sure they've played DK so much.
I don't believe it's CTY's hero as well. It just doesn't feel like it because he excels at these high skill heroes, you know, these heroes that can bring the insane plays. He's not a very mechanical, you know, I go in and stun with a Shadowblade DK.
At the same time, I think it plays to the strengths of their team. As we saw like last year, RTZ played a lot of DK, and they just won game straight up with it just because it was a straight out draft.
I mean, sometimes you have to pick a hero according to your lineup instead of focusing too much. Oh, this guy, he's really good at playing heroes like this. Yeah. You have to fit the lineup. So I think you need to find a balance between those
Storm Spirit.
All right. Well, that was
balance. No balance. Only CTY Storm.
And there's a hero that Ehome completely gave up on. It's Razor. I feel like they've been picking Razor a lot prior to the main stage, and they completely forgot about it or just ignored it.
I mean, we talk about CTY.
He don't want bad game. You remember he had that? I mean, bad game. He had a tough game versus EG.
It's a Techies game.
And
it's always going to be a bad game.
No more Razor.
Yeah. I mean, his Razor was not having fun, but as Winter said, the techie gank, the suicides, it's just, you're not used to it, and it happened. You lost to an Ember, it's really rough on lane.
Storm has been super successful so far.
He has been, every game. And it's not just about winning or losing, it's about the impact he has in the game. Like, it really shows how his initiation can be super important for a team.
Definitely.
Because he can start the fight, and then Gyrocopter or any other hero that you have behind can just roll in and take the fight much easier as the enemy is kind of spread out.
I think the bigger reason why he's so successful is, I think Loda mentioned previously, teams have been prioritizing in picking two cores, like a double core, dual core lineup, and Storm at the same time, he's a core that can control the game, can act as like a ganker as well. He's just there's so much usage of the hero, and he secures the late game. You feel safe when you have Storm plus Gyro.
Yeah, and the other team, they have to feel pressured when you know that the Storm is going to get farmed.
At the same time, though, not a terribly easy lane for Storm Spirit. We did see CTY die a couple of times in that straight 1v1 matchup. But Winter Wyvern, pretty good versus them. I'd be pretty happy if I were Vici.
Yeah, I mean, having a Wyvern to defend your teammates against the Storm is obviously very good, but I feel the Storm this game, maybe you want to consider getting Orchid earlier. I'm not sure if you want to forego the Bloodstorm because Orchid is just a good way of, when you initiate, you don't have to worry about the Wyvern actually saving the target, since you can always see the Wyvern first and just drop the Orchid on him, and you can proceed to secure the kill.
It's also the way that if Storm gets Orchid, even if he gets it at the same time as the Queen of Pain, he will be able to jump in and silence her and pull her and kill her before she does anything, really. So I think Orchid first is better for Storm, and it's going to be, as you said, really great against Winter.
So this is the important junction again for Vici Gaming. You want to take out a hero and just pick your combinations later, be it the Darks here. There's no Darks here, so the second combination is obviously the Phoenix with the Wyvern, which we see from Ehome previously.
I wonder if Ehome are scared of that combo as they have seen themselves how well they can execute it. And there's also Queen for plenty of AoE damage. And it's hard to deal with. If you try to go and kill the egg, you have to be spread out while you do it. But when you see the Supernova drop, you don't have time to, okay, let's spread out, guys. You just click the egg. That's the first thing.
Why would you ban the Spirit Breaker? I'm a bit surprised by that one. Because I feel like Winter Wyvern is one of those heroes that's really good against it.
It is.
It is interesting.
I'm not sure what they have in mind.
It's probably maybe they just wanted to take out an offlane hero, a tanky offlane hero, and they are picking, because they are picking a Tusk as well, they want to remove the hero pool.
Yeah, they're maybe just focusing on ROTK, but then the obvious hero for him, I'd say, would be Clockwork.
Yeah, that's like the remaining one that he plays.
Might also be because they want to pick anti-mage.
There's also Tide. He's a Tide Hunter picker in a sense, but I mean, we haven't seen Tide at all so far.
I mean, Tide has the same issue why I mentioned with Ben, like why the reason Queen of Pain suddenly has been seeing a decline, because Tide has the same problem, a really long cooldown ultimate.
Yeah, it is very tough to bring that in. A lot of Tide fans here though, so many Tide sweaters, Tide cosplay, like
Tide
everything.
plushies.
Yeah, so much stuff and then no pick.
He's a very entertaining hero to watch, I feel. You know, Ravage is always like great to see.
Well,
And we haven't seen the Ravage effect.
there's no chance that Vici are gonna pick it at least after a Rubik pick. That, I mean, that's so easy to steal for being such a strong ulti as well.
I mean, do you still want to pick Luna into the Rubik right now? I mean, it's a hero that synergizes very well with the Wyvern ultimate, and they want to keep fighting, right? And Luna is very similar to Gyro, so
Luna for Vici.
yeah.
Yeah, it's also How. Like, it's a hero How likes to play a lot.
I don't like Luna against Storm and Gyro. I think she matches up poorly against those cores. Storm can jump away from her, and Gyro, well, she can trade with him, but normally it's about killing the other's team, right? They don't go for each other mainly.
Yeah, but if you want something that can fight, like Luna fits that criteria, but he doesn't fit well, like you mentioned, against the Storm, because you get punished by the Storm very easily.
It depends what How wants to play, really. I think Anti-Mage is still an option, not banned out. Good against Storm, good against Rubik, but it comes down. I don't think it's the Vici playstyle, really.
Yeah,
I like
takes time to come online.
For Vici?
Yeah, for the AM, I think, if they go for the AM.
It's like really high mobility with Queen and Tusk and anti-mage. Like they're going to have a hard time killing people, and at the same time they can pick off like Gyrocopter very easily.
All right, Disruptor again. Second time in a row. And is it a... I mean, in the first game we were like, maybe they picked the Disruptor in order to, you know, not let them pick Storm, or it's just a preventive, you know, solution for the Storm. Is it now a Storm counter again? Because I don't feel like Disruptor is like the best heal versus Storm.
I mean, he is pretty good.
Because it's easy for Storm to go for him and
Yeah.
just burst him down before anything happens.
It's only really good if you're outside of the fight and in fog of war somewhere, or if the Storm is retreating. And that's pretty rare scenarios, because it's hard to hide from the Storm.
Yeah, exactly, and especially Disruptor. You know, when you're on a Lion, for example, he usually has a blink, so it's easy for him to stay outside of the fight and just blink in. But Disruptor, he has to be close, because if you're really far away from the fight, then you're just irrelevant. You know, by the time you get to the fight, it's pretty much over.
I don't know. It's a decent hero to combine with Winter Wyvern, though. At least you have some AoE for that.
This is interesting.
Silence
This
the
is the
grab,
combo breaker, we call him.
We haven't seen a lot of Silencer support so far.
He is a very
One
good
from
solution,
Newbie.
Wyvern, though. I really like it a lot. Storm can jump in, you silence, and then someone is definitely dead. And you don't need to get an Orchid at the same time. I didn't really expect the Chinese teams to pick up on it, but maybe they saw VP success with it and wanted to try it out.
It is beautiful to have the combination of Storm jumping in and Silence popping his ulti. Then there's nothing to counter Storm for the duration that he's trying to kill someone, and normally he can get out. So if he goes Bloodstone first, that can be the payoff.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a very strong initiation from Ehome. Ehome has like the initiation advantage.
It's the very first time Ehome picks Silencer in TI. It's been run on support by CDEC and Newbie so far, but it hasn't been. It's the first time Ehome grabs the Silencer. And I'm assuming in support, I mean, it could be something else, but it's very unlikely.
Good old support gyrocopter coming back,
Oh, yeah?
around with that.
The Akicopter, why not?
Akicopter. Is that some flashbacks?
So what does Vici go for as a carry? There's still PL, there's still anti-mage. I mean, PL is kind of good against Silencer, right? We talked about that before.
Anti-mage.
Anti-mage, there you go. So it would be an anti-mage for Vici Gaming. It's indeed a very good pick for them. They have a lot of defensive spells for him, like with the Snowball, with the Winter Wyvern.
They can save him. I think it was between those two heroes. Honestly, I would have preferred to see the PL more than the anti-mage here.
I think it's fair to say that overall, like
Both are good though.
I mean, the later we get in TI, the more we see late game heroes like PL and anti-mage. They feel like go-to picks every series. There's not a single series when we're not like. I mean, they might pick anti-mage. It's a good pick for them.
I don't
That's
like
a common thing though. When the pressure increases, you want to secure late game even more. What were you saying?
I didn't like Clockwork here just because they have so many heroes that can get out of it, including like Disruptor. But Sand King, much better. Combos well with Silencer.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's head down to the arena once more and rejoin our commentary team for game number 2.
Indeed, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 2 between Vici Gaming and Ehome. Game 1, both teams playing exceptionally well, but at the end of the day, it was a little bit too much for Ehome. And the draft this time a little bit different, Cinderin, as we were saying. We're getting Silencer, a little bit of a different pick here for the side of Ehome, and the fact that they finished up with the SK as well. It's going to be an exciting game to see between these two sides. I mean, from the draft alone, any kind of team taking the edge in your eyes?
Not really. I actually think this is a pretty balanced draft. I think there's a lot of possibility for both lineups. I personally think Disruptor is a really good hero against Storm Spirit, so I guess we'll get that cleared up in this game. Oh, well, it's a small sample size, but you know. A classic combo being run here by Ehome, by the way. The Sand King together with Silencer has been played a lot in the past. It allows the Sand King to burrow strike into Epi reliably instead of having to Epi blink burrow. Because the moment you get the burrow strike, you're just global. And if the enemy team has no BKBs, they actually have absolutely no counterplay for the incoming epicenter. So looking forward to seeing that. As far as Vici goes, definitely comfort zone for them getting the anti-mage for How. My main concern for them, though, is how much are they going to get out of their support duo? It is a Wyvern together with Disruptor. I feel like this combo is fairly weak when it comes to early rotations, and CTY might have a really good mid lane.
RT coming out on the top lane. He's going to be spotted out here by How as How heads back up. So I know that RTK is about. RTK didn't actually yet. He didn't actually take a ward out with him onto this top lane. So nothing going down here on this off lane for him. Now just eyeing him up. And towards the mid lane, of course, you've got Super and Femridge tagging around. They're going to look to contest this top room. It's just DDC here. DDC, of course, this time going to be on the Silence, and Lanham will be on the Rubik for this game for Ehome. So we'll see what they're going to be able to pull out the bag at the same time. The fact that the Gyrocopter now, of course, changing hands, is going to be YJ getting the Gyro here for his side. And the fact that they're running this anti-mage. So the How anti-mage is this. I mean, well, looking at the fact that they've already got some, well, 3 fairly high intelligence heroes with the Rubik, the Silencer, and the Storm. I can't help but feel that once there's that point where the aim's got his mansion, he's going to be very hard to kill. This is going to be a great game for the anti-mage.
Yeah, he has multiple choices. I don't think they would have picked it if it wasn't for the Storm.
Yep.
He is absolutely the main target. But in a lot of situations, you can't find the Storm, or another hero has way lower mana than the Storm, and you just go for a secondary target, and it can have a really major impact on the team fight too. So I'm definitely in agreement with that. As far as when How starts being scary in team fights, I'm not sure the Manta is going to cut it. I think he might have to get even more than that, because in my opinion, Ehome has some pretty decent counter picks to the anti-mage here. When he commits in, even if he Mantas, there's the counterplay with the Golden Silence. There's, of course, the Burrow Strike.
He's got to be so careful in this middle lane. Watch, that was just one hit from Femra, and then the dagger from the Quat, the Arctic Burn, of course, doing a lot against this very squishy Silencer. On the top lane, bit of a man fight between F4 and ROTK here. ROTK going to head back with the strike, bringing him low. Won't quite be able to find the kill, but forcing SK back. He's got a salve, so he's going to be all right. But nonetheless, creating a lot of space here for How, FY. of course in the jungle, Fenrir just starting to make the stacks as well for the team, so to keep them in the game. Mid lane, we're seeing CTY doing pretty well, 3-4-1, 4-1 at the moment. Lanham pressing back, Ice. We'll see how well he's able to carry off this Tusk off lane. Of course, one of the heroes he is most known for, so looking forward to see what Ice is able to achieve with the Tusk this game. Back in the middle lane, DDC is going to be hanging around with CTY, just trying to be as annoying as he can to Super to ensure that CTY can have a good start in this lane, get his way towards level 6 without the Queen being able to find a solo pickoff.
Fenrir was looking to maybe fly across. This is a very classic way of ganking the mid lane when you're on the Dire and have a Wyvern. Fly over the edge from the left, but didn't really dare to go for it. He knows DDC is on backup there, and even if he wasn't, it's probably too difficult for Super with this low of a health pool to engage on that kill. So they're not going to do it. Maybe now they could consider trying again, though.
Oh, here comes your snowball. Ice just onto DDC, but both DDC and Lanham are here. They're going to try and go for it here. DDC with the glaives. Don't want to count that little bit of 8 pure damage adding up. Ice getting low. Will just be able to get himself back over to his own side of the map. So he's going to be right mid lane. A bit of a dive going in onto the CTY there. He's got a salve here. Is he going to need to use it? It's going to bring him low these ticks. I think he's going to go down to about 3 HP or so. Or 6 HP. Very, very lucky there, CTY, playing on the edge. But the salve's going to put him back into good shape. And he's only 50 gold away from that bottle now, so very fortunate that that didn't quite bring him over the edge there, that poison.
Yeah, he's going to be perfectly fine now. Super doesn't have too much mana to pressure him with, and he's also doing fine on CS. He's actually out farming Super as it looks right now. They're even, but there's a full creep wave coming in here for CTY. Let's see if he gets any of it. So far, 0 for 2.
DDC on the side that's hanging around mid has definitely helped out CTY get this bit of an advantage. Looking at the two carries at the moment, is How with a slight edge, 17 for 5, up against the Jara's 13 for 6. How really been undisturbed entirely by the Sanking. RTK not able to do that much to slow down How's farm. And we did see RTK, of course, look for that rotation towards mid as well. So this anti-mage is going to get a lot of space this end.
Yeah, that stat is slightly worrying though. He's 0-3 in this patch with anti-mage. But they're still going to pick it, obviously, if it's a good pick. Games are way more complicated than that. Obviously, in previous games they've picked, they have been close. And How has been performing pretty well. There were some questionable plays on his anti-mage, I think, earlier in the tournament, but I feel like Vici Gaming have stepped up their game since then. And will be able to put on a good performance. And they have yet to lose a game at the main event. Let's keep it in mind. They're currently 4-0. They won their first dangerous best-of-1 against... They were up 1-0 in this series. Before that, they 2-0'd MVP Phoenix.
I think they actually had 2 series before this one after the Na'Vi one.
So they're 5-0?
Yeah, they 2-0'd C9 and
oh, you're
2-0'd
right.
Phoenix.
Yeah, they're
so
5-0 at the moment.
They're on a really big run here, VG. It's a great win streak to have, especially at somewhere like the International. Vici Gaming are certainly looking very, very much on form. And of course looking to take this game, which will indeed knock Ehome back out, and Vici will be able to move on to the next stage of the tournament.
So they're 6-0. No,
that's it, if they win this one.
Well, they're 6-0 right now.
Sorry, they're the 6-0 right now. That's right. So looking to make it 7-0.
Wow. That's a really impressive feat. Showing why they got far last year. A lot of very experienced players at playing on the main stage, and that's, of course, something you can't underestimate when it comes to tournaments like this, is having the right mentality. When the games really matter. You can have a bad group stage, but if you could pull it together at the main event, that's infinitely better than vice versa.
Nicely done there by Fenrir, dewarding that wall from DDC straight away. CTY just taking the stack here with ROTK. It's going to put him into just on level and just a little bit above the Quap now. Quap's finding the space now mid. There's not really been sent there to soak up the XP on the side of Ehome, so Queen 23 for 2. Super closing in on that level 6. And how are we doing on the offlane? How's Ice doing? He's returned down there, hasn't really looked for anything else since that rotation to mid. Sitting on level 4 at the moment. And in comparison to ROTK, just a slight little bit of a lead here for this offlane Tusk. Still very close across the map. Still 5.5 minutes in yet. No first blood. Both teams playing very, very carefully here. You yet to see anyone really go aggressive at this moment in time.
And this is definitely favoring the side of VG. How is just finding more farm, and he's also the more fragile hero in the early game, you could say, where if aggression is put on, it's scarier for the anti-mage than it is for the gyro. So for How to just be able to free farm, they're trading with the Quap as well. They have a really good counter pick for the Storm in this game, which In previous games, the Storm Spirits have been able to run rampant because they haven't been counterpicked very well, and it's just very snowbally in nature. Oh, yeah, they might be able to glimpse RTK here. Nope.
Yeah, they've got him. They've got him. They're going to glimpse it back here, and RTK is out of mana. They're going to try and chase this one down. F1 now, it's not quite enough, and now with the TP coming in fact. And it was with the Jara. He does cancel it in the end. Just there to scare them off and save ROTK.
Of course, it looks like Hao is hitting RTK really hard, but the moment he runs out of mana, he has a lot of armor. 7 armor with the Tranquil Boots. Well, Hao doesn't do the mana break damage after that, so he is going to live. And still putting on the pressure in that lane once again. Absolutely worth it. The panelists talked about how it's important for Ehome that RTK gets off to a good start. This is average, I would say, with the lane he's up against. He hasn't died. He has 9 CS minute 7. It is very difficult to play Sand King against this kind of lane. So I guess RTK is doing all right, but of course he would like to be getting a little bit more than this.
Straight away there with the Sandstorm, just to avoid the glimpse back to base, indeed, yeah. TK playing it careful. Continue to just see what he can find from this lane. Ice there with the bit of a creep block to the side here, trying to slow down the momentum of this lane, get it back under control under his tower. Back in the mid, CTY 36 for 4. Up against, of course, Super on the court, 36 for 8. Very close between these two. And Super's got a nice stack here created by Fenrir, so he's going to put the Quaff in a very, very good position. With the double damage as well, he'll be able to clean this on his own bottom lane. They tried to go in onto Ice, but a TP coming in. And now with the glimpse, actually bringing back Lanham. Lanham's in a lot of trouble. This could be your first burn. It looks like it certainly will be there. FY with a very nice rotation to the bottom lane to pick that one off for the team.
And FY finding early levels in this and a bit of success here is really, really useful for Vici Gaming. He's closing in on level 6 at minute 8. Disruptor, generally a hero we don't see finding an early ultimate, but in this game it's so valuable. It's a great way for them to gank out the Storm Spirit together with Anti-Mage or even without him. Just the Queen of Pain plus a Static Storm should be able to kill him from full health. The defensive supports on Ehome aren't really ready yet. The Silencer's level 4, no global. Rubik is level 3. So Vici Gaming off to a good start. Their game plan is followed along nicely here. 1,000 gold advantage. Solid farm on Anti-Mage as mentioned. And I'm imagining we'll see FY keeping on rotating and we'll have a little more static play from Fenrir around the mid lane here, trying to get some experience in keeping the Queen of Pain safe. While Ice claims his level 6 bottom, and then they might get a lot more active.
Top lane. Eyeing up how CTY has come in with the rotation. If they can find the anti-mage, it's going to be pretty big. Moving in now with the Vortex onto Hao, but Hao, he's going to be able to blink away there. At one point in his spell shield, helping him out. He's going to salve himself back up, and at the end of the day, the rotation there for CTY. We have to find this camp here.
I'm surprised they even tried. That was a 0% play, I think, for them to go for that kill. It's just a big waste of time for the Storm and Sand King. Mid lane, they're going to force out a TP. This is probably
DDC. He's going to, yeah, they get the deny there. And YJ moving in, trying to look for more with the Rocket Barrage onto Fenrir. Fenrir is going to pop that, but that's not going to help you against the magical damage of the Rocket Barrage, son. He will go down. And Ehome do claim themselves the first kill. Oh, he's getting ball back though. Super and FI looking to make it pay. Oh, Super's got to be careful though. And actually not brought down the gyro. He's going to be all right now. CTY zipping in, looking for FI. Oh, the blink for the mana void for Hao does claim the kill. CTY will be able to zip himself away. Did find the pickoff onto FY. But the fact that Hao was able to come in and get that kill onto YJ on the gyrocopter makes it very beneficial here for the side of Vici.
This is going to be a very early battle period at this rate. He's got 75 CS minute 10. He's now got a kill on an enemy carry, which gave him another 425 gold. Could be looking at, like, at 13 perhaps, Tread's battle period, which is exceptionally early. And of course, if you remember back at the good old timings we used to see for battle furies, you can't get it that fast anymore. Creeps give less gold. You also have to get the Quelling Blade into the Battle Fury. Sometimes I believe in the past we'd actually see Burning, for example, buying up the Battle Fury before Quelling Blade, just farming very stably without it. Now it takes a little bit longer
by Fenrir and Super. Oh, it's going to be CTY zipping these zips back out. He says, oh, okay, we don't want to fight this one. Has used all his mana. Ice and Fenrir trying to close it down. YJ now TPing as well, so it's going to be a bit harder for VG to look for a fight here. Now, looks like they're playing a bit safe, and yeah, they're going to leave this lane, heading up the river. Going to look elsewhere, top lane. FY just trying to find levels along.
He has Dust on FY. They want to try for this.
They might do so with Hao coming in. And again, nicely executed there by the side of VG.
Remember when I said 13-minute Battle Fury?
It's going to be very, very close to that. Maybe even sooner. 1,800 gold on top of the
Maybe
perseverance.
12-minute Battle Fury. Oh, he missed the CS.
The dream is over.
All right, they lost the game.
Bottom lane, what's going on here?
7.
Lanham and Super on a bit of fancy football. Oh! Very nice Sonic Wave there from the Quap. Nicely caught on the edge. 5 for 2. Vici starting to break away, and it just says, yeah, the fact that you're looking at how he's reaching 6k net worth. YJ, he's only reaching 4, so already 11 minutes in, there's a 2k net worth difference, and the fact that How is going to get this ridiculously good timing here on the Battle Fury on top of his treasure means that that difference is just going to get bigger and bigger, and it's going to be very hard for YJ to keep up in terms of farm.
It's impossible, actually. Yeah. Even with some good ancient stacks. Gyro can farm really fast, but it can't farm as fast as an Anti-Mage. The good news for Ehome is that he might not have to keep up completely, but he definitely needs to keep the gap at about these 2,000 if he can, or Anti-Mage will be able to take over the game. And it's not just the Anti-Mage who's having a good game. That's the problem here for the Radiant, of course. Ehome. Super already 60 CS as well, has a kill to boot. The Disruptor of FY has been doing a good job finding ganks. And even the Tusk of Ice in the offlane has not died. He's level 7 with Arcanes. They have all the utility they're looking for to be able to 4 on 5. Like ideally they like how to farm as much as possible, and then should it be necessary,
This is his Battle Fury done. Just 50 gold to go, and you're right, it's before the 13-minute mark. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some impressive stat on that.
I think this is the fastest Treads Battle Fury in this patch, at least this event.
It's got to be up there.
Because you remember the good old timings of Battle Furies that were really early. I think some of the earliest we've seen from Burning has been like minute 9, but that was with brown boots and without a poor man
And
shield.
before the change, yeah.
And before the creep changes. So this is exceptionally early. He gets a 12:59.
Oh, Lanham. Now YJ coming into the jungle here. They did have the ward here, but I think he might have just blinked around it. They're not going to head that way. They're actually heading towards the top. They do have CTY in lane with the Storm as well, so maybe they just want to look for a potentially easier pick-off here onto FY, but FY with level 6 has the Static Storm as well. And looks like the Rubik and the Gyro just going to walk around the jungle here with Lanham and YJ. They're just going to block it up as well, trying to slow down. They've seen that he's had this ridiculously good timing here with the Battle Fury, and they don't want his farm to get out of control, so they're going to do what they can here to disrupt it. Moving towards the mid lane, maybe going to look for a wraparound here onto Fenrir. They realize that he's pretty much out of mana, and here we go with the Telekinesis Rocket Barrage. Fenrir in a lot of trouble here. Nothing that he can do, and Ehome find themselves the kill onto Wyvern.
At the same time, the Storm Spirit is split pushing top. This is very good for Ehome that they get to put a bit of pressure, but of course, they give a lot of information away with that gank and showing Storm, so How feels confident going to hit the tower bottom lane. And of course, he hits really hard right now. He's got 150 damage already, minute 14, because of his incredible farm.
Global Silence use goes top lane. FY nearly killing CTY. CTY not quite turning it around here, but he's going to be able to keep himself alive. Mid lane, they'll find the tier 1. At the same time, indeed, that How does find a tier 1 for his own team. Takes down the bottom lane. Continues his farm here. Now level 11 here on the Bounty. Sorry, what the Anti-Mage.
Bounty Mage?
Bounty Mage. Pretty much for the amount of farm he's going to be getting at this rate. 14 minutes in.
So very impressive from FY that he's able to force out the global silence on his own, almost soloing up the Storm. When your support can do that minute 14, you're in a very good position. Now, important item to note, the Sand King has managed to grab himself a Blink Dagger. Now, he does not have Epicenter yet, because he's gone for the greedy early build you can with, or well, technically you could get caustic.
Be careful bottom lane as well. There's the full 5-man here of VG. He's still in the fog of war. How moving forward, trying to get some damage onto the tower. Lanham's there as well. They're actually going to jump in onto How, but the entire team of VG's here. Out comes the snowball, moving in onto CTY, onto Lanham as well. The comes out there for the Quap. How's already found the kill onto Rubik, and he's going to look for more now. Actually backing themselves off because Ehome's coming with the rotation. They find Ice. They'll get that. Fenrir will go down as well. Can't embrace it, isn't going to save him. And Ehome there with the defense, taking down 2. Only using the Rubik, and they keep that tier 2 alive here on the bottom lane.
Yeah, it looked like a good snowball for Ice, and he had to do it, else How would have probably been killed off there by the Storm Spirit. So good save, but it gets himself into a horrible position. It's easy for How to get out of that one, but Tusk not so lucky to have a blink yet. And the Wyvern from Fenrir just a little bit out of position. Went for the Winter's Curse, seemed to get a little bit greedy for the fight behind the tower. That was a very unlikely full team fight breakout for Vici Gaming. They got to pay a little bit.
Super at the moment, he's trying to find his way towards that Orchid. Has the first ability Livian Staff and 1100 on top as well. TK waiting in the wings though. Rubik's moving up the lane as well now. Maybe they can try and catch the pop out if she comes forward. They're going to use the epicenter for this one. They're going to try for it. Oh, Super blinks away. He looks for the play. RTK is not going to find it, unfortunately, though, this time. Oh, how now with the Yasha?
Yeah, this is going to keep going faster and faster now. The Gyro was involved in that last fight. He's now 3K behind.
There you go. It's the fastest in this match.
Yeah, this is very, very
Now, down by the bottom room, what's going on here? Bit of a fight. Cooldown's been popped. There's going to be the snowball coming out from Ice. Moving in. Can Ehome try and turn this? They're looking to do so. The Glimpse, in fact, bringing CTY back, but the Global Silence coming out as well to find Ice. Now they're going to look for CTY. He's out of mana. Super blinking forward. They're looking for the Storm. They should be able to get this one. He's getting low with the right clicks. He's trying to juke this one out. Will he? No, he's not going to live to this one. Try. Oh, does he juke it out? Oh, he does. He lives. Super does move forward. Finds him with the blink forward, but Ehome, they're on his case. DDC, Lanham, and YJ are not happy. Moving forward. Oh, he stole the blink. But at the same time, Super is able to blink out to the north and will be able to escape. RTK. Oh, Super duking it out. Lovely. They're not quite going to find him. He gets himself back over to the secret shop of the Radiant and will be fine in getting himself out of that one. Vici lose 2, but they do find CTY in the Storm. And all in all, just more space being created here for Hao, who's going to look for this tier 1 on the top lane. And he should be able to find it with Super backing him up from the sidelines. More money into the pocket there of Anti-Mage.
And he's really far ahead on experience of the enemy carry. That's another thing to keep in mind. Of course, we focus a lot on gold when we look at carries, but one of Anti-Mage's strengths as a carry too is how fast he levels up. It's just all those extra stats you get. He's already level 13. Level 11 is, relative to the time you get it, it's the longest level in Dota. It takes so long to get up to level 12. But Anti-Mage is already 13, and that means those stats are going to start ticking in very, very quickly right now. You see, he needs 1,400 experience to reach level 14. Whereas the Gyro currently needs 2,200 to reach level 12. It's a little bit weird like that, Dota. It was patched a long time ago to encourage or allow supports in particular to reach their level 1 and 2 ultimates earlier in the game. But the total experience to reach level 25 is still the same. And
this is good as well for Hao, of course. He's 1,500 gold at the moment. He's a few hundred away from the ultimate orb, and then he'll need the recipe bottom lane though for FY getting caught out by RTK and Lanham. They're going to look for the Disruptor. They'll be able to find him.
+2.
Not a hope for him to get himself out. DDC, what's he? He's on +8 at the moment as well. Not too bad, 18 minutes in for the support silencer. And then moving forward, he's got the Winter's Curse, going to drop it straight away on RTK with Super coming in as well. They should be able to find the Sand King. They'll burst him down. Super, of course, with the Orchid complete now as well. They're moving forward for more, looking for DDC. The damage is just a little bit too much. DDC's going to get healed up here by the end. Looks like Super's not going to continue to chase it. Top lane, it actually looks like Ehome. They've got eyes on the Anti-Mage. Moving in onto Hao. And they're going to drop the cooldown, and the Zip4, can they get the electro? Oh yes, with the Global Silence, they should be able to find this one. Moving on to Hao. They'll get him, and it's a good time to get him as well. He nearly had his Manta style complete. Every kill that they can get in with those silences before the Manta's out is going to be massive for the side of Ehome.
This is what Merlini was talking about before the game. Because they have Silencer, they can play the Storm Spirit this way as if he has Orchid. Wow,
looking for Fenrir, Lanham with the Stolen Blink, moving forward, getting the telekinesis off with the Fate Bot as well. YJ chasing down with the Rocket Barrage, now we're dead. Winter Wyvern, killing spree now for DDC. And more, and careful though, zips himself out. Can't quite find the vision here for Glimpse. Super's going to continue to chase, and CTY is turning out mana here. If they can find the vision, they're trying to, oh, it's still just out of range of the Glimpse. And they get it, CTY's going to try and juke out into the trees. Oh, he's in so much trouble with the Orchid on him now. FY closing in, he gets the Glimpse to cancel the TP. Static stalls right down, and he'll just straight up deny himself there with the Bloodstone Suicide. No way that he gets himself out of that one.
That's really not what you want to happen. The moment you get your Bloodstone, you lose 3 charges. That really sucks. It's such a good farm item for the Storm Spirit to ramp it up, but already losing that mana regen here. At the same time, Hao will of course feel a lot safer when Storm loses those charges and is a little bit more careful with his play because he doesn't want to lose even more of them.
Absolutely. Hao still closing in on that Manta Star. That's when he's going to feel pretty much entirely safe, unless Ehome commit a lot and get the chain stuns, the control out onto him. See how quickly he's able to do that. Super, of course, with the pickoffs. The fact that he's now got 1,500 gold on top of the Orchid. He's going to be able to start working towards his next item. Just sharing the farm here in the jungle between Hao and Super. Bottom lane, CTY. Just trying to build onwards from the Bloodstone, but as you said, down a few charges now. The ideal start. RTK, he's got the Ring of Regen. He's got enough money for the staff, so he's closing in on his 4 staff as well here. So pretty solid progressions here from both sides. And, I mean, Hao isn't that far ahead of the Gyro at the moment. 2K at the moment, 21 minutes in. It's not too drastic, but Ehome certainly need to continue to do something about this anti-mage problem if they want to keep themselves in this game.
He's going to get his Manta now, as well as an Ancient stack. So this is when it's going to go even faster. He can start split pushing with the Manta if he wants, finding some extra creeps while he's jungling. At the same time, they've got to be feeling like there is something happening on the other side, but they would be too late for it. Already have YJ farming up his own Ancients here to try to keep up. But anti-mage should be increasing the gap a little bit here. Not too much though. He's playing cautious. He's scared that he is getting ganked. Looks like Ehome have got a little bit into his head with that last gank they pulled off. Of course, he is aware that should they jump him with both Sand King and Storm Spirit, they can maybe kill him full health.
I'm just going to smoke up here the side of Ehome. See what they can go for. Pink's coming out in Roche, but there's no one in there at the moment. Good deep wards here, spawning out How. And if they could catch out How, it's going to be pretty big. How revealing himself, and they'll get him in straight away. He's not going to get a chance to get off this Manta. Can they bring him before he gets it off? Yes, they will, just as he tries to get himself out.
He used it to split push and farm mid, and they catch him off at the same time.
They might find Fenrir here as well. Zimping in on CTY. They'll get a second kill. Ehome. FY's dropped the static storm of the kinetic field. Sonic Wave coming out from Super now. Actually burst 1-2 down. Double kill here for the Queen of Pain. And now with Dusk, Ice coming in. They want to try and find more. More text from CTY, bringing Ice back. CTY will escape. YJ tries to TP out. Isn't going to be able to do so with the Walrus points there from Ice. And Vici finds himself through the glimpse. Oh, it was there just in time. They're going to be able to find more. Super moving in onto DDC with Ice and FY. They'll find a fourth. Vici Gaming taking the fight 4-2. Very nicely done.
That was incredible from FY and Super. They already lost their Wyvern and the Anti-Mage. It's effectively a 5-on-3, and they managed to set up the perfect kinetic field, static storm, Sonic Wave, Scream combo, landing everything on 2 heroes. Ice then follows through, and they end up cleaning up an extra 2, being ahead in the fight, and of course also having the mech advantage that he didn't even need to use.
Didn't need it in the end because Ehome 4 down. Ice is now level 11. He's doing very well here on the Tusk. And Super, what's he got coming out on the courier here at the moment? It's okay, it's actually up for the BKB, so he's got the BKB now complete on this crop as well. Of course, very nice against a lineup that has, well, the silence. And to be fair, there's a lot of magical damage coming out from Ehome, so this BKB is going to be pretty big here for the Queen.
It's the item in this game for Queen of Pain. Now, the thing is, of course, when it comes to Global Silence, if you pop BKB before, then it pierces. If you pop BKB after, then it purges. So the Silencer can still counterplay Super if he uses the BKB aggressively first. But still, during the BKB, do Ehome even have the physical damage to kill it off at the current point?
Can they
Not
catch
really
out
that
CTY
overwhelming.
here? BG just taking the Ancients, sticking together as a group. YJ moving in, he says, where's my Ancients gone? He's working towards his BKB Mithril Hammer, 750 gold towards the Ogre Club. Up to 2k now on your Storm Spirit. 13 to 12 at the moment, pretty close between these two sides, but I mean, you just look at the net worth, and it is the cause of VG that are breaking away. 13,000, onto the Anti-Mage, and 11,000 on your Quap, leading against the 10k and the 9k of the Gyro and the Storm.
So now How is 4,000 ahead of the Gyro. Oh, he's going to go in on Yang. Putting a little bit of pressure on him on top, but he's just going to run away here.
He's going to be working towards that Vlad's now as well with that headdress. 1,300 on top, so he's going to be having that fairly shortly. They smoke up, but it's all spotted out here by the side of Ehome with that deep ward, so should be unlikely that VG are able to catch Ehome out. Looks like they're rotating towards the top lane. Ping's coming out onto the Gyro. Would be nice to catch out YJ.
He still doesn't have the BKB, which is of course a key item against this dire lineup. They could be able to find a glimpse here.
There we go, they'll get the glimpse on from YJ in a lot of trouble. RTK has come in to try and help, but he might be in trouble himself. Super pops the BKB Sonic Wave there, very nicely onto CTY. CTY bringing in Ice, but they've already lost the Sand King as well, and How jumps in, the Bloodstone Deny will come out, forcing the Storm to kill himself, and again, VG jump in, and Ehome did not have an answer for that one at all. 3 heroes hit the deck, and they're going to lose the tier 2 here as well.
It was almost as, it looked like Ehome was trying to bait them to jump the Gyro. The reaction from Sand King was instant there, and the Global Silence, but they never got the Epicenter off. He didn't even start channeling it. A little bit surprising there. He just blink stuns and runs away. End up effectively getting nothing. You know, when it looks like Rubik's spell steals nothing, he steals Snowball. I don't know why that's the case, but that's just how it is. It's the only spell I've seen that with it.
Ice now got the Greaves complete.
That is really, really nice with him. He can purge Global with these. And it'll allow him to, no matter what happens now, he can remove global, and then he can snowball the other teammates that are in trouble, just buying time for the global to expire. Might see a really big play out of him within the next 5 to 10 minutes with those Greaves, should that situation arise now.
Super. They're going to go for Roche, and they're going to get it as well. Nothing that Ehome can do to stop it. Now with the Aegis under his belt, this anti-mage looking very, very scary. It's going to be very hard for Ehome to bring him down. They're going to smoke up straight away. Looks like they may be wanting to fight with this one. Moving into the Radiant jungle, Ehome are there. Just a question whether Vici can find the jump. They don't quite have Sonic Wave, and oh, Super just going straight in with the BKB. The Ice Shard's actually blocking Super up. No, the Snowball picks him up, but the stolen Snowball dodges the stun. Nicely done, and now they'll move forward onto Hal. CTY coming in as well. They get off the cooldown here. YJ might be able to turn this. They've found Super on the quad. They're looking for Hal as well. He gets off the Mana Void onto YJ, but RTK with the epicenter. Ice getting low. They won't be quite able to kill him. No, they do get him. They might find Hal as well. They put the Aegis here. They do lose YJ here in the Static Storm, but are they going to go for round two? Looks like they're on the retreat. They're terrified of Hal. Hal moving in, RTK with the burst drive with the party ring. It catches all three of them. Hal needs to start to go to work. The cold embrace healing him up. Won't be able to fight for the time being, but now here we go. Back in. He's actually getting low down with the telekinesis. The global silence. Hal. Oh, he bounces it off. Tries to blink out with the burst strike there from RTK. CTY moving forward, trying to find F5. They'll get F5 as well. It's a double kill for the Storm Spirit. Trying to fight Femra here. Lanham blinking down, looking for the Wyvern desperately. Femra trying to juke out through the tree line, but oh, blink forward from Lanham. Can he find him? Yes, he can. He hasn't got the mana to do anything. It's just going to be right clicks. The cold embrace holds Femra in place, but it's almost certainly going to be holding him in place to his doom. And we're going to look at Ehome getting a team-wide triple kill for CTY. What a play there from the side.
That snowball might have just saved the game, because that fight could have gone horribly wrong for Ehome. And instead, Lanham turns it into a snowball fight, and they come out the victors of that one. Wow, that was
You can tell he's acting a little bit of a dance. He's absolutely ecstatic with that.
He's keeping up the APM and Fountain.
That was Matt turning that around. I mean, still, they've got quite a way to climb in terms of catching up with that anti-mage, but if they can find fights like that, perfectly executed, Vici are going to be a little bit worried when they're going for those kind of smokes aggressively into Ehome's jungle.
And you're seeing now, the anti-mage identifies the problem here. He has to get a BKB in addition to his Manta. It's not enough having the Manta. He has like one break, but there's so many things that still threaten him. All the single target, like the Rubik's telekinesis, the stuns, the electric vortex from CTY. There's just too many problems. And once he has the BKB, there's no one who threatens him for now. The damage between Gyro and Storm should not be able to pierce his almost 20 armor. So we're probably going to see Vici slow down a little bit until he has that BKB. And then they could look for a Roche into fight maybe.
See what the next plan of action here is from Ehome. Just looking to maybe try and take this tier 1 from the bottom lane. Lanham, CTY and RTK moving in. Femra's just here on his own at the moment. So not going to do too much. Focus with the bump. They're going to jump in onto Femra straight away, bringing down the Wyvern. Very nicely done there from the side of Ehome. Now on the mid lane, Hal with the Manta Illusions. You can find a tier 1 for the side of Vici Gaming and he'll get away with it as well. And he's just going to continue to push it. To get some damage done onto the tier 2. They do find the tier 1 here on the bottom. CTY claiming that gold. Now with the TPs back, they're ready to defend here, Ehome. This is a very, very close game. 30 minutes in, 18 to 17. And CTY, we saw earlier on, losing those Bloodstone charges. Now he's back up to 11, and he's sitting on 4,900 gold sin.
He could one-shot an Orchid right now, if that's what he wants. It's 30 minutes, though, so I think
there's BKB.
He's going to get a BKB. Guess reasonable alternatives here would have been a Hex, which would have been a more aggressive approach to countering the AM. Even with BKB and Manta, you can still shut him down very nicely with the Storm Hex, but this is more of a defensive build. We'll deal very well with the Static Storm from Disruptor, we'll counter the Glimpse, we'll counter the Mana Void.
And the Orchid from Quat.
And the Orchid from Quat. There's a lot of value to this.
It's now going to be Ehome moving into the Dire jungle, seeing if they can catch potentially Hal out. Hal at the moment towards the bottom. In fact, the whole team of VG is grouped up around the secret shop here. Ehome moving around. This lane's already kind of pushed in, so they won't be able to do too much here. Looks like they're just trying to regain just some control of the jungle, popping down this ward. And VG, we'll see what the players, what the next big move is from the side. We're getting to that point of the game, a bit like in game 1, but where both teams are just being very, very careful not to get caught out. Here we've got Hal farming, but he's being backed up in the wings by his full team, so it's going to be very, very hard for each team to find a pick off without it turning into a full 5-on-5.
It's got a BKB now, though. This changes a lot. They might actually, as expected, try to just go for a fight immediately after picking that up, as they have a lot of momentum going in with a 10-second BKB, but no smoke available as it looks for either of them. Now it's just gonna farm.
House farm, of course, still miles away, miles ahead, in fact, of YJ on this gyrocopter. 5,000 in difference here.
Almost 6, actually.
Siding up indeed. Demon Edge is now done on YJ, and it looks like, what was that? He was just coming out, yeah, to the gyrocopter. Okay, so he's going to be working towards his MKB in anticipation of House Butterfly.
The scary thing here for Vici is if they take one bad team fight, I think the anti-mage's advantage will not be big enough, even if he finishes his entire inventory. I think Ehome have the counters available. So this next fight is really, really important for Vici that if they get it, it needs to be at least an even trade.
House got to be careful. RTK is ready there with the blink and the burrow strike. Both teams very much ready to jump in. CTY getting the vision. Oh, can you see how hit? Yes, he can. Sets up the telekinesis. How getting caught out? Can they burst him down before getting the BKB off? Yes, maybe they can. No. Gets the BKB off. Will be able to blink himself away. They're just going to look for Ice here, but Ice gets off the snowball here. He's going to be ready to go back in, picking everyone up. And now with the Winter's Curse holding YJ in place, trying to bring down the gyrocopter. Sonic Wave as well, but now he pops the BKB, turns to Super. Epicenter from RTK, and he gets Fenrir there with the burrow strike. CTY coming in, finding the wave. Will he be able to do it? Yes, he will. How though with the mana void on CTY? CTY's been silenced up. CTY stuck here. Oh, but they find the kills. A double kill for CTY. Finally, Ice with the snowball will find the kill, but it pays with his life. As the stolen mod, the stolen snowball there, moving in onto FY. Super's had to blink away. 3 heroes down on the side of Vici, and it may just be 4. FY looking for TP out, won't make it. Double kill for YJ, and again, Ehome taking the fights perfectly. VG are always the ones to go aggressive here, but that's the second time in which we've seen Ehome take a huge advantage in the fight.
It is so crucial that CTY goes for that static remnant in the tree line and finds him there so they can set up the fight on their terms.
Oh.
Okay, that's...
there was a quap there. Very nicely done. I mean, CTY.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty damn. 3,400 gold. I mean, he's caught up with the Queen of Pain. Still just a few thousand behind the anti-mage, but CTY in the Storm. Talking about it on the analyst panel, he's certainly turning up in this fight.
We're looking at a 0 gold game. 5,000 experience for Ehome here, but it feels like Ehome are further ahead now, just because of the... I feel like Vici's lineup, in order to thrive at this point, kind of relies on being ahead against the one of Ehome. So when it's just a draw, Ehome can just keep playing the way they've been playing so far, taking the good team fights, finding the farm in between. And as long as Hao doesn't get incredible amounts of farm, they'll be all right. You see, he had the fastest battle fury we've seen in this version, with treads and Poor Man's Shield. Now his farm is just, I want to say average for anti-mages this minute, 34. Maybe slightly ahead, but not very much. Considering he had such an impressive start, Ehome have done a very good job at disallowing him from just turning this into the AM show.
Looking at the items coming out from the side of Ehome Storm, picking up that ultimate orb, so probably going to be looking for that Hex. And the MKB is now done on YJ's gyrocopter, thanks to the money from those fights. So going to be even harder for VG to try and fight into the next. And as you said, it certainly feels like, even though the grass may not show it, Ehome are the ones with the edge at the moment. Also, Silencer picking up a Solar Crest. I mean, we're not going to be seeing an MKB or anything like that coming out anytime soon from the lineup of VG.
This is going to make the gyro ridiculously hard for the Dire to kill. Anti-Mage does not have an MKB. He kind of doesn't want to go for one, I think, in this game. Sure, they've got a lot of burst damage with spells, but if YJ gets his BKB off and a Solar Crest, I actually think he's more or less immortal.
Ehome, they want to go for it. VG, of course, the ones to previously look for 2 fights. Ehome coming out on top. Ehome, they feel confident enough to now aggressively look for a fight themselves. ROTK moving in. He's going to find FY here, jumping straight in onto the Disruptor with the telekinesis as well. FY be used up here, but they should be able to clean this one up. They'll get it. Global Silence is coming out from DDC, and now it's Super actually popping the BKB and looking for Lana, but Lana with the Glimmer Cape is going to be okay. Sonic Wave comes down to CTY and YJ, but it's just not that much at this point. Ice with the Royal Spoke, but he gets pulled in. Manabo's come out, but the Winters goes down to YJ, and oh, the Burrow Strike coming down to Ice will fall. How trying to do what he can to turn this one. It's going to be a double kill for Super. CTY finds Fenrir though. The CTY, ROTK, and DDC just about cleaning up here. ROTK looking for the epicenter, will find it. Can't quite close the gap. He's got the blink in a few seconds. No, the poison there, rendering him unable to look for the blink. But nonetheless, 3 for 2. They do lose YJ this time on the gyro, but finding 3 in trade. I think
Big
Ehome will be
play
happy with that.
from Fenrir to get that Winter's Curse off, or they would have been 5-0'd, I think, in that fight, or at least 4-0'd and forced away. How does get, or actually both of the kills that Vici get go onto Super. That means he has Scythe. He got a lot of money there. For Ehome, who got the kills? We got 1 on Gyro and I think 2 on Storm. So now up to 12 Bloodstone charges, and CTY now closing in on his own hex. So they're going pretty much toe to toe. Look at the net worth of the Queen of Pain and the Storm. They've been very close pretty much all game. But Vici Gaming might get the bigger target here as they're looking
Hex
to
is
get
actually
the
done on the
rush
top now though. So you've got another form of lockdown here for the side of VG. Which is going to be very nice, especially they can jump in and catch out the silencer before.
Oh wait, Storm already has it too. I thought he was missing some more here, but... Okay.
Now VG get the Roshan. Ehome can't quite get themselves out of the base there in time to contest it. Age is going the way of How here on this anti-mage. Ehome just pushing out the mid lane. CTY, 12 Bloodstone charges at the moment. Of course, worth noting as well that on DDC, he's stolen 32 intelligence so far this game, being involved in the majority of the fights that have gone down favorably on the side of Ehome. Again, at this point of the game, VG actually making a movement here into the Radiant jungle. Not smoked up, just trying to secure some more farm here for How. Stealing the jungle camps in for themselves. And looks like they've got their eyes on this tier 2 on the bottom lane. They tried for it last time, and we did see Ehome come out on top of the team fight. Let's see if Ehome are able to do it again. Looks like CTY is just heading up to the top lane. The rest of the side of Ehome are there now. He's going to TP back. Okay, they want to try and fight. It looks like they may want to just try and straight up defend the tier 2 here. How? On the front lines. Fortification will come out. Wyche's actually been blocked off here from the rest of the team, and How realizes they jump straight in, but RT kept blinking forward. But now, with the Winter's Curse onto YJ getting low. Can they kill the Gyro? No! He's still alive here. YJ's going to turn around and start to fight. Will finally go down there to How. How looking for RTK now as well. Ice moving in here. Also, CTY will zip forward. They want to try and find more. No, Ehome want to get themselves out. CTY low on mana. They want to stop the fight. It's not a good fight for them so far because VG were able to find YJ. They only lose FY here on the Disruptor. And off the back of that, VG might even try and push up to the high ground here. Maybe try and force out the buyback here from Gyrocopter. And How just goes straight forward. CTY zips back. Going to pre-wave. RTK finds the Burrow Strike. CTY, DTS, oh, the telekinesis as well. How held in place. Really kept up. Will be able to get himself out of this one, though. He's a little bit too tanky for them to bring down without the right-click damage of Gyro. VG in a pretty good position after that fight here on the bottom lane.
It turns out to be really important there that, first of all, Vici get a really good jump on the Gyro, and they do finally just barely bring him down in that situation. But How wanted to secure the kill, so he went for the Mana Void, but he went for it right after the BKB of the Gyro came out. That means that being unavailable disallows Vici from really chasing that fight down. If he hadn't used the Mana Void, which ended up doing absolutely nothing in that fight, they could have maybe gone for a secondary, maybe even a tertiary kill via the Storm Spirit's low mana pool. But instead, they get a 1-for-1, they get the tower, and they do not lose anything here for Vici Gaming apart from their Disruptor. Still have the Aegis. This is a full Abyssal coming out now for How. This is going to make him able to kill Gyro so much faster, and it's going to allow him to be the initiator. Now they don't have to commit the Hex immediately.
Indeed, this is going to put VG in a very good position, and they want to fight straight away with it. Making their way straight into the jungle. Lanham looking for a D-Ward. It might be his last one for a bit of time as How comes in. Limicate will be there. Oh, Lanham's able to get himself out of this one. How moving forward. Oh, he gets the blink off. He's out of there. CTY zipping forward without the Winter's Curse holding in place. How starting to go to work. The BKB was already caused by CTY. They'll lose Fenrir. How looking for the batches. Will he be able to find it? No, CTY's able to zip away. Now YJ coming in with the snowball from Ice moving forward with the Warriors push down to YJ as well. How with the right click bashing him up. YJ still trying to fight for this. The global silence has been popped. How just looking to chase this one down. RTK with the epicenter there. We go with the Burrow Strike. Holding How back. The glimpse is there. They want to YJ and he will lose his life. RTK silenced up. Ice trying to find the stun with the snowball. Will get it. Super's there. How as well with the Hex. RTK nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. How gets himself a double kill. And that fight indeed. They pick up the Abyssal. They go straight for the fight. And VG coming out on top. They'll look for the tier 2 here in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to be able to claim that. There is a buyback on Gyro and Sand King, and Vici might be able to force both of them by just committing on here. They should have the Guardian Greaves ready very soon here for Ice. 10 seconds on cooldown. They just go in here. Storm cannot hold this alone. How, by the way, will have his Abyssal in a second.
Whoa.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, How? Well, he's jumped straight onto DDC. Looks for the bow. Oh, Mana Void. Has a quick one-on-one now on how to kill a silencer. Down for 60 seconds, does have buyback. He will use it. Sanking, RTK coming back as well. Still lining up on the gyros buyback. CDY goes straight in here onto FY. Bob the BKB, the bashes are there. Snowball from my side, is going to go. Oh, RTK actually coming in as well, but he's been hexed up. Will be, actually gets glimpsed back there. How now moving in onto DDC. He's got nowhere to go. The Glimmer Cape buying him some time. He's going to be able to live with his magical damage. The magic resistance is just enough. Can't quite believe that. YJ will find FY. Now CTY is Ehome again with this defense that they've managed to pull out before, and they'll pull it out again. They also take down Fenrir, getting both FY and Fenrir, the support combo of VG, and the rest of VG just left to retreat. Ehome, they defend again.
It costs them a hell of a lot, but they do manage to hold their barracks. The tier 3 tower on 16 health. The Silencer surviving with about the same. That was a fight of absolute minimal differences that could have changed everything. One of them being Hao's Abyssal Blade. I think it was ready to be used on the Storm, but as he was about to use it, CTY zipped out, bought the time he needed to not get caught off guard. Still an open game, but Ehome are starting to lose a lot of ground now. They were starting to get a lead. They've lost it, and they've lost a little bit more than that.
Yeah, some big investments in there, as you said, to hold the base. But they do hold the base. Tier 3 still standing in all 3 lanes, and racks remain as well. 30 to 25, Ehome with the kill advantage. It's indeed a very close game. The fact, though, that VG Hao, he's the one that's stockpiling the gold. 24,000 on him at the moment. 3K now on top of that Abyssal Blade. I mean, what does he go for now? Obviously, the MKB's already been picked up. Does he avoid going for the butterfly and just straight go for a heart here?
I think maybe he goes for an MKB of his own.
Okay.
It's possible he feels like he's tanky enough right now. With both the BKB Manta and, of course, the Cold Embrace, which is always going to help him. They have Cold Embrace, Glimmer Cape, Guardian Greaves. Do they have a Force Stab? They do not have one on the Dire, because else that would have been like the perfect setup. And there's also no Crest, but I guess it's being worked on by Fenrir, who currently has a Chainmail. It's got quite a way to go, but might make it there eventually.
I mean, at this point of the game, we obviously saw VG trying to push down the mid, Ehome taking the better fight. Do VG have to wait for Ehome to come to them, or can they afford to try and look and jump in? And who does Anti-Mage need to be catching out here with the Abyssal Blade?
If he jumps on the Storm and gets him with the Abyssal as well as Manta, he's going to force a global silence from that alone. And then it's possible they can take the fight after that. Alternatively, if he jumps the silence is just flat out dead. Like, there's pretty much no way he's getting out of that one.
A couple of big items coming out here. Super's now picked up an AC on the quad. RTK on his Sanky, he's got a Lotus Sword to help against these hexes. And Zip 4 from CTY straight onto Super. BKB popped as well. Lanham trying to help. Global Silence has come out here. The Snowball comes out from my side there, and they're able to find the kill onto Lanham. Hao trying to work his way onto YJ with the bash as well. Looking for the gyro here. Lotus Sword has been popped down onto YJ, and Hao is actually looking for CTY here. There's Snow coming for RTK. They're controlling the Anti-Mage with the Winter's Curse out to RTK. Oh, side with the punch onto YJ. CTY looking for Hao. Cold Embrace is there though. Hao will live. The Bloodstone tonight comes out. Hao gets stunned up by a strike. ISO trying to help Hao. The Snowball's there. He'll protect Hao. Moving it onto DDC here. Hao with the right click. Hao's actually got themselves out of here. They've found 3. Ehome just down to their last 2. DDC and YJ trying to do what they can. Hao moves over the Mana Void onto YJ. FY still there looking for DDC. Super. Fenrir and DDC, can they find it? They will. And Fenrir falls though. YJ is all on his own. Can he find some? He return the hexes there. No, he can't. Super with a double kill as they take down the entirety of Ehome CTY. Look at this hit. Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh! Not quite long enough. Not quite long enough. He goes for the play.
Oh, he gets the courier. Maybe.
Oh.
No.
Oh, How the bow! The Abyssal Blade! No, he's going to get it! He's going to get it! He gets it! He kills Storm a second time! Mega kill streak for Hao. And so much money going the way of the Anti-Mage after that one.
Such a taste of courier, and he just doesn't. Oh my lord.
That was such a painful fight for Ehome to lose, and losing the Storm twice. I mean, his Bloodstone charges must be falling. You're down to 6 now. What a fight for VG.
Curious to see where AM goes with all of that money he just picked up. And what have we got on Queen of Pain? She got the Assault Cuirass, another 2,300, as we get a tower deny here from Lanham in the mid lane. Doesn't want to give Vici that free gold. They could just keep going high ground. I'm a little bit surprised that Hao doesn't go and hit the tower a bit with his hero here until there's like, say, 5 seconds remaining, but he might be scared that the Storm will be able to find him randomly in the jungle with another YOLO jump. Just plays it safe. the timer on Roshan. He's actually up again. There's a double damage available as well. This would be a very fast takedown for
Vici can get in there.
Vici Gaming.
This is going to put them in a very, very good place. They spotted it out. And I don't know if Ehome can get there in time, are they? What are they doing here? They're just sticking around the base. They haven't smoked up. It looks like they will start to make some movements towards the pit, but this Roche is going to go down pretty damn quickly.
Let's see.
Looks like they should get it here. Ehome, they are making their way over, but it's, oh, how? Too much damage. Age is going the way of the anti-mage. Quap will pick up the cheese. Do Ehome really want to fight into this one? Hanging around, smoked up in the jungle.
How just ate a moon shard, by the way. So that was his next item. The reason he bought it was that they got the Aegis. Else he would have gotten an item to take him on.
Revealing himself in lane here. OTK wants to fight, and they'll go for Super, but Super gets the BKB out here. I think someone Canadian field to come out. There's the global silence as well. There was the Hex on RTK. How now with the Abyssal Blade onto YJ going to work. SSS moving in as well. I don't think the Lotus Storm's going to save him. YJ getting loaded. Winter's Curse will finally come out. Oh, he gets Lotus Storm back to Fenrir. Manifold comes out. The How finds the kill. And now they're looking for more here. They want to find RTK. They should be able to find it. They will. Another kill for Hal. CTY zips away. TP's out. Will they be able to cancel it? No, they can't quite find the Storm. But 3 for 1 there. They reversed Winter's Curse there, costing Fenrir his life, but I don't think he'll mind the fact that they still come out on top. And How now looks to take himself instead of Raxi from the bottom lane. Tier 3's already been taken in the mid lane. Vici could very well look for 2, and Ehome, they are 3 heroes down, none with buyback available here. It's not looking great for the side of Ehome, and maybe they need something spectacular. This might be it. Hex onto How, but Warriors Punch finds themselves on CCY in this Hex as well. Now the match as well. CTY's dead. He can buy back. He can buy back, and he's going to need to potentially if he wants any chance of holding on. Rubik's going to be back up in 10 seconds, but still the gyro and the Sand down for 30. Fortification coming out. I don't know what Ehome could do now. They need a miracle, nothing less. DDC. Snowball's going to be coming in his way with Super blinking forward as well. The Glimpse as well, bringing it back. The Snowball changes direction to DDC, and DDC's going to go down. The mech helping him. No, he's going to live for a bit of time. I know, behind with the Abyssal Blade onto CTY. Mana Void. It's all over. It's got to be. They're looking for Lanham as well. He's up and down. But he will finally go down for the final time. Double kill for Hal. 4 heroes on the deck. Jara is now back, but they're still lacking the Storm, the silence of the Ruby. It's GG. VG do it. Let them move on. And Ehome go home.
7-0 in the main event. Vici Gaming, I believe
That's ridiculous.
They came out of their group 5th, I think. They started in the lower bracket. They still have not lost a game here at the main event. They now secure top 4. Yeah.
I'm sure the analysts will tell. But nonetheless, VG's performance this tournament, as you said, the fact that they haven't dropped a single game in any of the series.
Or is it top 6? It's top something.
It's a hell of a lot of money they've secured themselves. I mean, VG so far. I mean, that performance as well. At the end of that series was a very, very close one, I kind of feel, as well. Both teams having to make big decisions, but VG, we see them here. What a performance there from the guys, and what a game 2, and what a series for them as well.
Of course, good to see the good sportsmanship. Ice and his old teammate Lanham. A little bit of cheeky bants, as you like to call it.
Cheeky bants indeed, and for some more cheeky bants, we'll head over to the Archbishop of Banterbury, Red Eye himself with the analysts.
Well done, Vicar of Pixels. He's finally got me back over there as well. Great game, well played, Vici Gaming. And of course, our congratulations to Ehome as well, because they have had